everybody.
Welcome back
to the podcast
with Paiton and Evelyn.
Y'all, we are back with another episode.
Yes.
Y'all, the terrible part is we're doing this late again. We do it to ourselves at this point, okay?
Yeah.
We have late episodes because of us.
We really have no one to blame.
Blame us.
Blame us.
We can blame ourselves. I blame me.
But you know what? It happens. Okay. Life happens.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. You gotta give yourself grace. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give yourself grace.
And mercy is what we have. His grace and mercy.
Oh, it will always get you through. The grace and mercy
always get you through. Wow, that's crazy. We're not gonna do it today.
We're not gonna do it today. We're not gonna do it today because we did it the last episode. We're not gonna do it today.
Reel it in.
Reel it in.
Reel it in.
Listen, we're not preaching a sermon today.
Okay, it's not gonna be a sermon today.
No.
No, actually what we want to talk about, because we kind of cover this like here and there, but we never have done a full episode on it. So we want to talk about like how difficult it is to like follow your intuition and follow like your own views and your own thoughts when you don't have a lot of stuff coming from society, and not just society but the people around you. Because when you're listening to people close to you, like, yeah, it's good to have advice and know that people love you and they care about you and they want to help you out and they want to see the best for you, but sometimes that can cloud your own thoughts and that can cloud your own judgment, and it can make it difficult for you to make your own decisions. So yeah, my question to you is at this stage in your life, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you feel like you listen to the opinion of others versus your own? With 10 being like, I don't even listen to, like, who am I? Like, I don't listen to it all. Like, who am I?
Okay, I think that is a hard question to ask.
1 to 10. Just 1
You know I'm always switch.
1 to 10.
Alright. You know what? Realistically, I'm gonna say about like a 5.
5?
A 5. A 4.
No, if 10 is you really listen to people's opinions.
Oh, 10 is I really listen?
Yes.
Oh, okay, then I'm like an 8. I'm like an 8.5.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I thought it was the reverse.
That makes more sense.
I thought it was the reverse. Alright. Okay, I'll say I'm about an 8.5.
Okay.
And I said it was confidence, right? Okay. I'm not ashamed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We all get to a different level at different times. Right now I'm at an 8.5. Okay. Before I try to explain myself, because you know I'm always going to try to explain myself, what is your number? What is your number, Paiton?
Yes, let me answer before she goes into her 2-hour-long explanation of why she answered what she answered. So I'm going to go with like a 6.5.
Okay.
Because I feel like okay, I apologize if y'all can hear Eddie in the background, but yes, I say that because yeah, I feel like I try to listen to how I feel for the most part, but in some areas, in some arenas, it can be very difficult because I feel like I always, for the most part, know what I want or know what I want to go try or know what I want to go change, but then it'll be like that one thing that that one person says that makes you just go, hold on, maybe I am wrong.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I like to listen to myself because I do believe in, like, if I don't mess up myself, then how am I ever supposed to learn?
Yeah.
But then I feel like parents feel a different way. They're like, no, you're supposed to listen to me so you don't have to mess up in life. And if you don't listen to me, then you're just going to keep messing up. And that's stupid because why do you want to keep messing up?
And all you have to do is just listen to
me and you're never going to mess up in life. And it's like, oh my gosh, that listen, now that might be true. But the problem with that is that now I'm not my own person.
Yes.
That's the struggle with that.
Yes.
Though that may be very true, that by listening to you, I'm not gonna, you know, make a wrong decision. I'm not gonna make a wrong turn. Whatever. The problem with that is that none of the choices are in the end my choices, and I never actually made decisions for myself. And now you have like a grown adult that literally can't do nothing.
Yeah. Or you can be an adult that's never, say you listen to your parents, you never made mistakes, you listen to friends, you listen to people around you, you never made a mistake in your life, and you know what I'm saying, every decision you made has always been a positive out of it, but in turn now, you internally are not happy with what you have. You're not satisfied with what you have because it wasn't what you wanted. It was never your choice from the beginning. So yes, it sounds good to say, if you just do, you know what I'm saying, I've experienced all these, most people say, well, I've experienced this before, so that's why you should listen to me. And yes, on certain instances, but when it comes to somebody deciding certain things they want to do with their life, whether it's career goals, you know what I'm saying, living situations, relationships, when someone has made up in their mind that they want to make decisions like that for themselves, you kind of have to let that person go to some extent, because they have to make their own mistakes, bump their own head, and you never know, they may not end up
even bumping
their own head. It may end up going the way they want it, and because you don't agree with it, now they've ruined their whole life. But not necessarily, it's just because you didn't agree with it don't mean it's a wrong decision for that person. If that person has made the decision and they're happy with the decision and content with the decision they made, then that's on that person, you know what I'm saying, to be okay with saying, I've you know, put myself in certain positions in my life and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you can kind of also argue not just regretting that you haven't made your own decisions, but you can kind of almost like now be mad at other people now for your life because they made all the decisions for you. So if something go wrong, then now you might what's the word for it? You might have like envy or like now some sort of like hatred or something for your mom, or like, you know, you might have some sort of hatred for your brother, or have some sort of hatred for your friend, because now you're blaming them for like, oh well, the advice you gave me wasn't good, and every single time I listen to you, you know, I'm still unhappy. Yeah. And you know, I listened to what you said and I'm still not happy with my life, you know. I still don't have what I thought I had. Like, yeah, I listened to you and you think that I'm good from your point of view, but from my point of view, things are not going well. So now it can kind of also like ruin your relationship possibly with that person. If you start getting mad at them, then your relationship with them is messed up. Yeah. Because they felt like over-inserting themselves and telling you what to do constantly. And you were like, okay, yeah, I'll listen to you. Yeah, I'll listen to you. And the more you listen, you realize, like, hold on. Like, this person is wrong. Yeah. And now that jeopardizes, like, say, your relationship, and now you may not talk to that person anymore. Or you may wake up one day and be like, yeah, we can't communicate anymore because you don't let me be my own person. If that person also don't understand boundaries, which kind of goes back to boundaries, like, if they don't understand that they're overstepping, now you have to not talk to that person anymore because they don't even understand the boundaries that you're trying to set. So now you just have to completely cut communication and love them from afar. So it can be a whole like downhill, like bad downhill. And I don't think people see that side of it when they're, you know what I'm saying, inserting themselves, and they just see like, oh no, I'm trying to tell you, I know better, I know best, like I've been through this, but they don't see the opposite end of how it could like turn out negative. Like they only see the positive side. And I also think that for me being an 8.5, I feel like I'm trying to get to like a 5. I'm trying to get to like a 4, to be honest. And the reason I say that is because I used to think, oh, it's good being considerate of other people's feelings, like that's the way it's supposed to be. You have to make sure you take into account other people's everybody's opinion, because you don't want people to feel like they're not being heard, stuff like that. And the more I experience things, the more I realize, no, you can block people out. You can block people's opinion out. Some people's opinion you don't need to listen to, and I mean that in the most loving and respectful way.
And the reason I say this is because I've learned you cannot please everybody. You cannot. It is physically, mentally, emotionally impossible to satisfy everybody that you want to satisfy. Listen to every opinion you want to listen to. It is not possible to satisfy everybody, and you will literally dig yourself down to the lowest you can go to try
the bottom level,
the bottom level, to try to satisfy everybody. And before you know it, you'll look up and you will still be in the same spot you have been in, because you've tried to please everybody, and try to please everybody literally will take you nowhere. You're thinking you're listening to somebody, and okay, maybe maybe listen to this person will get me out of this situation, maybe listen to this person will get me out of this situation. You will literally find yourself, you'll wake up and still be in the same situation if you have listened to everybody's opinion and try to satisfy everybody. That's the crazy part about it, because you think, oh, and I'll try to, you know, be the considerate person and make sure I take into account other people's feelings, this and that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, you'll live a better life if you're a 3, if you're a 4. I'm telling you, be a 4. Be a 4 out here. Be a 4 out here. Yes, just do it. And that's just coming from, you know what I'm saying, just certain experience. I feel like everybody's had that experience where you have at least, you know what I'm saying, if it's not family, it's a friend, it's even a teacher, you know what I'm saying, anybody is trying to get you to see a different, you know what I'm saying, their perspective on things, their side of things. And if you don't see their side, then it's like
the world is
over.
You're a dummy.
Yes.
You're an idiot.
Yes.
Your life is gonna be trash because you didn't listen to me.
If you don't listen to me, then I don't know where you finna go. And I'm telling you, it's not true, because we all have our own brains for a reason. God gave us our own brains for a reason. Yes. He didn't give us our own brains, our own mouths, our own nose.
Gave the same brains, and we would have all had connected neural systems.
Yes. We would have all had connected neural systems, thought the same, smelled the same, done everything the same, ate
the same,
like the same foods. Like, we're all different for a reason, and it's because we're supposed to have our own experiences, find our own way. The purpose of a lot of these things is to find your own way in life. We're all not gonna get to heaven on the same path. Yeah, we're not. Some people gonna have to fall off a little bit. Some people gonna get straight there. You know what I'm saying? That's a blessing for you. If you done lived your life and gone all the way, and you know what I'm saying, you done had a straight path, kudos to you. But not everybody has an experience, and it's unrealistic to put that on somebody else, to think that they have to live their life a certain way, because you don't want, you know, mistakes. You don't want this or that. You don't want them to follow this path. You don't want them to have this job. You don't want, it's almost cruel in a way to put that on somebody, to expect them to, you know what I'm saying, follow your every wish and command. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, if they fall off that, then it's like, oh, it's the end of the world, and you'll never get to a certain place in life because you fell off the path that I told you to go on. That's not true, and that will never be true. And it's just about pushing yourself and having, almost walking with blinders. Like, yes, people have opinion. I used to think it's okay to hear people's opinion as long as you're strong enough to not let it affect you. You can be as strong as you want to. It's going to affect you in some way. So I've gotten to the point now where I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. Going through that within yourself, now you have other people putting their own insecurities, their own worry. And that's really what it is. A lot of people think that, oh, I don't want you to fail, so I'm telling you this. No, it's you fail, so now you putting your own insecurities on me. Yeah, it's almost like you reliving your own trauma through me. Yes, you reliving your own trauma. I can't help you process your own trauma. That's something you have to go to a therapist for. You can't use me in my life to help you get over your own trauma. And that's what a lot of that really is you portraying people, projecting their own insecurities, their own thoughts, their own, you know what I'm saying, what they wish they would have done in their life onto you. So I've really gotten to a point where you really can't even listen to people's opinions anymore. And you have to get to a place where you have to say, well, if it's a debt, you know what I'm saying, it has to be a certain situation where you say, well, you know what, I know one person that I know can talk, that I can talk to, and you know what I'm saying, kind of give me an opinion on this situation. But to have certain people give opinions on every aspect of your life is not gonna work. It's not gonna work for you.
Yeah. So the word and the topic, I guess, how we can sum it up, is that your help is not helping.
No.
Jesus.
Your help is not helping.
Your help is not helping. You think you're helping and you're not.
Listen, if I need help, I will tell you I need help. That's the other other word. That's the other quote of the day.
Your help is not helping.
It's your help is not helping. And it's if I need help, I'll tell you I need help. I'll tell you I need help. It's those two.
But that, I mean, this kind of also goes back to, I think, the last episode about self-sabotaging relationships. Because, like, well, the other one was about you sabotaging your own self by being so worried about making mistakes, doing the wrong thing. But this is more about, like, other people being so worried about you making mistakes and doing the wrong thing. And both are messed up. It's messed up to do it to yourself, and it's messed up to allow other people to do it to you as well. So on both ends, it's messed up to sit there walking on eggshells, thinking, like you said, like every single second of your life is, oh, it's gonna be perfect. Everything is gonna go out exactly how I want. Everything is gonna go set to plan. Everything is gonna stay on the right course. Yes, if I do this, I'm not gonna do anything wrong ever. Like, oh, if I take this advice and I do this, then I'm gonna have the perfect job. If I take this advice and do this, I will have the perfect man. If I take this advice and I do this, I will have the most amazing friends. Like, it's just not possible. And it's also not possible because regardless of how much you're trying to control your life or other people are trying to control your life, there are other people that you have to interact with on this earth. So I think people don't, I think when people give you advice, sometimes they don't take that into consideration. It's like, you can give me as much advice and much help, like, and it, like I said, it might actually help. And you might be right. But then you could also be wrong. Because stuff sometimes just happens. Or
it can just be, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It could be right, it could be wrong, or it could just be, I don't want to do that.
Sometimes literally life happens. Like, it don't matter how much you plan it out. It don't matter how much you pre-think about it, prepare, then dissect it, you done put it all in a binder, you done added it up, subtracted it. Sometimes it literally don't matter how many calculations you do, and you are still wrong. So we have to get to a point where we're okay with being wrong and making mistakes. Because sometimes your help is not helping.
And sometimes we have to be okay with being wrong because other people feel like we're wrong, but it could be right. It could be right for you. Just because it's wrong for somebody else,
for their story,
but that don't mean it's wrong for you. It could be right for you and wrong for somebody else.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because everybody's story is not the same story. Every chapter of your book is not going to be written the same as the chapters of another person's book. It's like when you read a book, you don't read books to read the same story over and over and over and over again. Like, if you go read a book by a different author, you expect a different story. Or if you go pick a book in a different genre, you expect a different story. You're not going to fiction looking for nonfiction. And you're not going to nonfiction looking for action. You're not going to action looking for the romance novels.
Nope.
That's not how that works. Each book is written completely different. It's going to have a different tone. It's going to have a different sound. It's going to have a different vibe. It's going to have different characters. It's going to have a different story. Like, so why are you trying to sit around and search for the same storyline as somebody else? Like, like I said, you could copy someone down to the nitty gritty of their life, and your life could still not work out like theirs. You could copy paste them. You could watch Beyonce or whoever and copy everything they do, and your life's still not gonna be like Beyonce.
No.
Jesus.
And it probably never will.
So if that's the case, then you might as well just do what you want to do. Might as well do what you want to do.
Yes.
You can copy paste.
And at the end of the day,
do what you want.
How many different mistakes can one person make? We all know the mistakes. You're either in a relationship and the man ain't gonna work out, or he is. You get the job, either it don't work out or it does. You get a new place, either it don't work out or it does. I mean,
how many options are there?
It's only so many mistakes you
Y'all
can
act like
make.
there are multiple options.
Yeah, there is no new mistake out here.
Yeah.
They're pretty much all the same. And I feel like at this point we've kind of figured it out. You know what I'm saying? We kind of figured it out to the point where we're like, okay, if we do this, then maybe that will happen. But maybe if I do it a little differently, you know what I'm saying? With the way I want to, maybe it'll work out. You never know. But if it doesn't, then you'll do what normal people do. You move on.
Pivot.
You pivot. You pivot. You may have to go in a little direction.
You change trajectory.
Yeah.
And you pivot.
Yes, you pivot. That's how life is about pivoting, to be honest.
And changing.
It's about changing and pivoting. So you think that, oh, if I make this decision, then I'll be set for life. No, you will not. Ma'am, sir, no.
Miss ma'am.
Miss ma'am.
Mr. Sir.
Mr. Sir, that's not true. So you can't spend your life trying to dodge change, mistakes, or pivoting. Because if that's the case, you never go nowhere in life.
You never gonna live.
You never live.
You will never have lived. You would have thought you lived, and you never lived.
Did. You can't spend your life trying to dodge mistakes, pivots. It's not realistic. It's not realistic.
It's not. So yeah, we hope that this helps somebody out there, okay? To realize that the help you giving is not helping. Okay? This is for the people that always want to help and they think that their advice is helping, but really they're just making it worse because now they're putting all this doubt in this person's mind and putting all these negative thoughts in this person's mind. This person was confident in themselves and they was confident in their own discernment and their own intuition, and now you got them doubting themselves. Please stop doubting Thomas. Please stop. Don't do that to them. Don't do it. Okay?
Yes, stop. Please
stop.
Let them live in peace.
Let them
have some type of peace. You know what I'm saying?
Them live.
Because when you go out in the real world, you're not really gonna have a lot of peace. But let me at least have some. Let me have some type of peace to myself. You know what I'm saying? Let me get something.
Jesus.
Just give me a little bit of crumbs of peace.
Crumbs of peace.
Just a little bit of crumbs of peace.
Crumbs of peace. Jesus. Crumbs of peace. Can I get crumbs?
Crumbs?
Can I get crumbs?
Can I have a little bit more?
Crumbs,
please. A little more peace, please.
Jeez. Peace, please. Peace, please.
Peace, please.
My goodness. Yes, that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching or listening wherever you are. We appreciate you. We appreciate you supporting the podcast.
Yeah.
And we hope to hear from y'all real soon. Bye.
Listening is available on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube. Don't forget to leave a positive review, subscribe, and follow.
For more content, follow us on Instagram at Champagne Chanel Pod. We appreciate the support. Catch you in our next episode. Bye.